世界で一番の姫様そういう扱い心ってよね
If you're on the internet a lot, chances are you've seen some sort of overtly kawaii teal-haired chick with two blonde twins and maybe a weird blue-haired dude with a scarf. You probably know teal-hair's name, Hatsune Miku, and you've probably heard the term Vocaloid, but you may have no idea what sort of tech Vocaloid is. Is it an anime? A manga? A video game? This video's purpose is just that, to explain what Vocaloid is. Vocaloid is a singing synthesizer application software developed by the Yamaha Corporation that enables users to synthesize singing by just typing in lyrics and melody. That's kind of a mouthful, so another way to say that is basically a virtual singer. Several different varieties of singers come in the form of voice banks, of which there are several, each with their own weaknesses, ranges, and strengths. These voice banks are created through recording a singer pronouncing every possible sound in the language and optimizing them to be sung in different octaves and notes. They sing the lyrics and melody input into the software. Vocaloids were originally created for professional use, but they have exploded and gained the popularity they now have thanks to casual music producers and songwriters. Despite what you may think, Hatsune Miku is not the first Vocaloid to ever grace the world with its presence. And no, not all Vocaloids sing in Japanese. In fact, the first Vocaloids spoke English and were named Leon and Lola. Leon and Lola were Vocaloid 1s, or the first iteration of the software, for which 5 voice banks were released. Miku came along in the Vocaloid 2 era, during which 35 Vocaloids were released, and Miku was the second to come along. We are currently in the Vocaloid 3 era, in which 35 voice banks have already been released, as of August 13, 2013. This means a staggering total of 76 Vocaloid voice banks have been released in the history of the software. Not all voice banks are made by the same company, and there are several companies who create voice banks. The companies who've created the most voice banks are Krypton, Internet, and AHS. Hatsune Miku acted as a springboard for the Vocaloid program into popularity, and I'll elaborate more on that in the program's history in a later video. When people think Vocaloid is a manga or a video game, they are technically correct, as both a manga and a series of video games has been released using the Krypton Vocaloid characters. So that's pretty much the gist of Vocaloid. I'm Vep, and I hope you learned something.
返事することわかったら右手がお留守なのなんと